This is Action Sports Jack's 1st and 10 Training Camp, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Hey, Eric Armstead has been off to the side all camp for the most part, nursing a back injury, somewhat mysterious situation. Well, today the veteran and Walter Payton Man of the Year winner running sprints with the team after practice, a practice that ended the Jags with sprints because, well, it wasn't very pretty. And that's what you do. You run at that point. Big story of the day. Armstead's backup Mason Smith activated off the physically unable to perform list. He's been out all camp, now returns. Second-year player at LSU figures to be a solution to the Jags' inside defensive interior questions, but got to get in shape for game time, which is right around the corner. The countdown to that regular season is officially on, especially for guys like Mason and Eric. It's catch-up time for them, 22 days away from the season opener against the Carolina Panthers. Hello and welcome to 1st and 10 Training Camp. I am Stuart Weber, the last show this training camp here at 11:15. But fret not, we got plenty of coverage for you on all our platforms. The Jaguars did something unusual today. We haven't seen this much around here, a midweek intra-squad scrimmage in the middle of camp. It was planned in part because the Jags would have liked to have more joint practices, but didn't work out that way, so the Jags had to battle against each other today. Didn't go so well. Sloppy day, dropped passes, penalties. In one breath, you could say, well, hey, it's practice. But on the other hand, the more you see these kinds of practices, the more you think it could possibly roll over into the regular season.
A little sloppy offensively. I thought we started great, had a long, I don't know how many plays it was, had a long drive to start, went and scored. And then from there, defense, picked it up a little bit, and we had some mistakes, just self-inflicted wounds, kind of been the story of camp of trying to clean up some of that stuff. Just got to clean up the operation, the mistakes that the defense doesn't inflict on you, you do on yourself.
Of course, Trevor Lawrence is the guy who has to set the tone inside the building, to the practice field, and eventually in the games as well. He continues to progress with this new offense and new staff, and is coming off a nice week overall, looking like he hit a new gear. But he has to continue to climb the ladder on the way to the regular season.
I think you see that growth in terms of the master of the offense. We talked about it a little bit at the very beginning of training camp and even a little bit in the spring. I think you see that starting to click. Now, there are still things around him that can improve, and there are still areas that he can improve, and he knows that. I think when we look at the operation of the offense and his control of the line of scrimmage, the cadence, some of those things that we still are working to improve as a unit, but his personal growth is evident in that stuff, the footwork, some of the reads, playing fast, completion. So there's a lot of things that you see. It makes it tough to pick one.
Best way to help the pass game? The run game. And that is a Liam Cohen trademark. Jaguars have been repping the run game a lot this camp. Travis Etienne getting a bunch of work today. It is his job to lose when the regular season begins. How about some Jags notes for you? Fast Friday coming up next with a later than normal practice scheduled. Right tackle Anton Harrison helped off the field during practice today. Jags are not reporting injuries as of right now, but that is never a good thing to see. And a second fight in as many practices. That's training camp, especially after 3 weeks of work.
Obviously, we don't want to make a habit of that, but the competitiveness, and then right after, both of them were great, and like nothing happened. So that's what you want to see. I mean, it gets competitive out here, and it should be. Don't want to cross that line too often, but we're all teammates at the end of the day.
Countdown to kickoff coming up this weekend. Sunday 1 o'clock game, so we're doing a full hour of pregame coverage. That starts at noon. CBS 47, and that's where you'll find the game as well. Former Jaguars offensive lineman Brandon Sheriff has retired. No surprise, but it happened quietly over the summer. Brandon wasn't big on major announcements. Sheriff did have a decorated career, mostly his time with Washington, and then finishing here in Jacksonville for a few seasons. We've taken a close look at the rookies this week. What about former Notre Dame Fighting Irish? Well, how's he doing in his first NFL camp? We will find out next. And all quiet on the James Gladstone front, just sitting up there, evaluating. Eventually, going to have to get this roster down to 53.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jax 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brett and Austin Show.
They're all in on Trevor. Of course.
Download the Action News Jax Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjax.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jax 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
You're watching Action Sports Jacks 1st and 10 Training Camp, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
No break for the rookies in training camp. A lot on their plate, including helping the veterans out. Jaguars are hoping to get some major contributions from this year's draft class and maybe a surprise amidst the undrafted free agents. The debut for the rookies wasn't bad, headlined of course by Travis Hunter, Wyatt Milam, Rayon Lane, and Bashal Tootin. They all had some nice moments against the Steelers. Welcome back to 1st and 10 Training Camp. I am Stuart Weber. In the 4th round, the Jaguars drafted linebacker Jack Kiser out of Notre Dame. Figures to impact the Jags on special teams in the short term, but hopes to land a spot at linebacker in the long term. He got some work with the first team today. Action Sports Jacks' Olivia Tasley catching up with Kiser after practice.
How'd that scrimmage feel out there today?
It was fun getting out there, compete, almost trying to simulate that game atmosphere. It was a good time to get out here and just see what the guys could do, and it was fun to be around with them. Yeah,
I saw you got some reps with the ones out there. How'd that feel?
Yeah, we were just rotating, trying to keep fresh legs out there, and so we were mixing up the linebacker rotation and guy be out there with Josh and Trey, seeing them in the huddle. That's pretty cool, and so it was cool just being around them, flying around, having fun, trying to do my job.
Yeah. How important are these preseason snaps from the game and then even in this scrimmage here?
Yeah, I mean, every play I feel like you're learning something, right? It's such a different game. It's a different speed. So that every rep is gold. It's so valuable. And so you just got to learn a lot from every single one. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Like, good or bad, you got to take something from it. And so whether it's in a game or out here on this practice field, like, you got to treat it as such.
Mm-hmm. I know everyone's their own harshest critic, right? But what did you feel like you need to work on after the scrimmage, and then what are your strengths as well that you saw out there?
I think, after the first game and after the scrimmage, just being a green dot on defense, that just comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of leadership, a lot of communication, right? Like, that's something I'm always going to try to push myself and challenge myself on, is being the elite communicator on the field. And so just every day trying to get better and better at that, making sure, how am I talking to these guys? What do they need to hear? What's going to be that key word to remind them or help them? And how can I translate what coach wants onto the field, right? And then strengths, like, I think just, flying around, giving effort, just, being a hard worker, just being out there trying to do the best. I think that's something you're always going to get from me.
Your first NFL preseason game, the timing with it, did it go faster than you expected?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the day itself was really long, right? Because you're waiting around. It was a night game, trying to, get to it, and then the game kind of flew by, especially that first quarter, that first half. But it was a lot of fun. Wish the game turned out differently. Obviously, we're all competitors, and you want to walk away victorious. But like I said, there's a lot of learning lessons from it, and it was really cool to be in that stadium under the lights.
Was that your NFL moment, or are you still waiting on that?
I mean, I think every day you have an NFL moment, right? Like, well, today, being out there with the ones with Josh and Trey, during rookie minicamp, putting on that Jaguar helmet for the first time, being in the stadium under the lights against, the Pittsburgh Steelers and seeing that logo and that uniform. Like, it's just, every time you step into this building every single day, there's one little moment you're like, wow, like, I'm in the NFL, this is pretty dang cool.
Mm-hmm. You're also making quite the impression on the coaches, because I saw the depth chart came out and you're now in that spot with Chad for the second teamer guys. What's it like to be a rookie and have that and know that the coaches are, trusting you and liking what they're seeing out of you?
Yeah, I think it's just, it shows that they have confidence in me, but at the same time, it just reinforces the fact that I got to show up and bring my A game every single day. Like, I got to be professional. This is a job, this is a career, and I got to treat it as such. And so they had, they invested a lot in me with a 4th round pick and bringing me in here and believe in me, and I got to prove them right.
Good to catch up with Kiser. Jaguars camp almost over. High school football season, well, starts right now. The Blitz is on. We will give you a preview coming up next. And some specialists. Jags are definitely good in that area, so hey, don't worry about at least 3 positions, right?
The sun rises on the first coast. A new season of high school football has arrived. There's something different about Friday nights in the 904. You never know what you're going to see. It's a place that breeds legends and creates stars overnight. With rivalries that run deep Friday nights mean a little more. All the work you put in, all the sacrifices that you made, it all leads up to this. Let's welcome back Friday Night Lights. From the west side to the beaches, the Titans in the north, and the Gauntlet in the south. We welcome the big hit, the electrifying plays, the upset, the chaos, the fans and the tradition, and the moments that live on for a lifetime. Bring on a Friday Night Blitz.
You're watching Action Sports Jacks 1st and 10 Training Camp, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Well, this is a little bummer. One of the best games in the state to start the season next week was going to be Reigns and Miami Central in the graveyard on a Saturday. Well, it's not happening. It has been canceled. There were some conflicts with scheduling and security. Oh, it would have been a massive early season game, but now it is an open date for Reigns. Remember, the Vikings made it all the way to the state championship game 1 year ago. High school football season hitting a new gear this week. Some teams in Florida and all the teams in Georgia get it going for real. Meanwhile, many of the other teams will play a half of football. They call it the Kickoff Classic preseason game. All the summer work about to prove itself all around our area.
Our motto this year is do AC. Last year we went 3-7. We fell short in some games that we shouldn't have. But this year we got kids coming in, focused, locked in, ready to go. Way better mindset than last year. And that's what we needed.
And I mean, I think the biggest difference is we got a lot of kids that care and want to be there. It's just going to be a great year. Kids care. We fly around at practices. It's going to be a great year.
We know, like, everybody's watching us. We have a high standard. You know, just dominate every game one by one. That's it. Just keep working hard, getting each other better in practice, and that's it.
So excited to bring you the debut edition of the Friday Night Blitz. We get our season started with a quasi game of the week. The real game of the week schedule starts the following week with full live play-by-play and a whole live broadcast. We'll get to that tomorrow. But we started off with a quasi game of the week up in Camden County. They're hosting Brunswick. Going to be a whole lot of fun to catch up with that one and all of the games in our area. Hey, Friday on our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Get it started early. Miller and Molden, Stadium Pulse, an hour of college football talk. Of course, Brent and Austin. You can hear Dan Hicken talking about, who knows, all sorts of fun stories on Storytellers of the 904. The Cup Date with me. NASCAR Cup Series talk for a full half hour, including an interview with Chase Briscoe and much more. High School Media Day. Catch up with some of those interviews. Should be a lot of fun. All right, that's going to do it for 1st and 10, our last one of the year. I want to leave you with one of the cool sports stories in our area. This is Miles Russell, and this putt essentially clinched his spot into the quarterfinals of the U.S. Amateur. How about that putt? The Jacks Beach native, just 16 years old, will play in the quarterfinals tomorrow. If he wins 3 more matches, he wins the U.S. Am, a spot in the Masters, U.S. Open, and the Open. Crazy. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jacks 1st and 10 Training Camp, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.